Good morning, Lana Scott Lighthouse. So I put up a couple of videos of the vanning moon, and I wish I had my other phone because you can actually see the landmass on the moon. It's so close right now. And guys, the veil between the worlds is really thin right now. And with it being thinner, it means to me that we can hear the other side easier. It's easier to hear your spirit guides if you pay attention. It's easier to hear the angels. It's easier to hear your intuition. It's easier to hear the inner voices that are coming to you from your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, your own intuition, your lineage angels. I've never heard no one talk about this, and I don't know when that hit me about that. But I thought about it, and I'm like, I've said that before, and I know I've said it before, so don't get on to me about that because I know. But I still feel like we have a set of angels for your family that watch you, as the lineages go on, because, they're on the other side. They don't die and then be reborn, or they don't die and just go away, or just go to the other side and sit there. I feel like lineage angels are ones that are in charge of your family tree, and that as like I've said before, as your family tree progresses, they follow your bloodline, and they help the ones that need the most help. They help the ones that are there to make a difference, to give them guidance, for the healers, the movers, the shakers, the ones that are on the path of trying to help heal the earth and heal other people. And whenever somebody pops up that in the family that's going to be like that, they look for them. I don't think they always know the future, but I do believe they can see the 360 degrees around. I've already talked about that, about people that have had NDEs, near-death experiences, and that the angels are the same way. They can, they're up above, and they can just see, because the timeline is not linear. And I learned that, I talked about it before, but I didn't say who. It was Baba Jolie. She did a video one time, Baba Jolie Tarot. She did a video one time that taught me that time is not linear. The reason being is because it was on a Saturday, and I happened to be tuned into one of her videos, and it was a video she had uploaded like 3 days before, and she was talking about somebody with something that was waving. And when she said that, I happened to be looking at my monitor in my house in Mississippi. The wind was blowing, and I thought I had my garbage can up on my front door, and you couldn't really see because it was night. And I had my porch light on, but I thought at first it was my son digging through the garbage, like maybe he'd throw something away. Then I realized it was just the wind blowing, and it was a Subway bag of all things hanging out. And I still have pictures of that. Maybe I'll try to upload some of those on here so y'all can see what I was looking at, because I did take pictures of it. And the bag was waving, and she said something, and she said, "Whatever you're thinking, that's a message for you." And I don't remember what I was saying because I got distracted, and I looked at the garbage can on the monitor, on the TV that I had that was hooked up to my cameras, and I don't remember what I was thinking. That was what made me so upset later on, but it made me realize, when I went back and I looked, and the video was done like 3 days before I saw it, and I was like, oh wow, there's proof to me that time is not linear. So those on the other side, have any of you ever seen Little Nicky with Reese Witherspoon played his mother? And of course, that was a comedy, but there was a point where she was an angel, and apparently his father was a devil. And she was looking down, and she was telling all her angel friends, "Oh, look, there's my son." And she's talking about him and what was going on with him at that moment. But the thing of it is she was looking down, and that whole scene is about things not being linear. In other words, when we get up in the morning, we go forward through our day. The sun rises and sets, and we go forward. But on the other side, even though you can see the sun rise and set, what you can see, and this is from what I've picked up, this is my own personal experience, or what I've thought makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Okay? But in that scene, when she's looking down, I'm like, that scene popped into my head later after I saw that video with Baba Jolie, and this was a couple of years ago. I'll have to find those pictures of the garbage can and let y'all see why I felt that way, why I've come to this conclusion. Anyway, she's looking down, and she's talking about that, about seeing him. But even though the sun rises and sets and we're all going forward, when you're on the other side, you can see that 360 degrees, and it's all laid out, but it's not linear. In other words, you're not seeing people just go forward. They're seeing bits of time. Does that make sense? and I'm not sure if I'm explaining this right, but it's just the impressions and the feelings that I get in my own intuition and what I see. So I just wanted to talk about that before I talk about this next thing, so y'all have an understanding of what I'm talking about. So that was just something that came to me that made me figure out that time's not linear, and on the other side, our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors, and those loved ones that have passed on, they can see the broader picture. We're always talking about, looking at the broader picture, and sometimes you get so stuck in what's going on in your present that you can't see behind you, to the sides of you, and forward. Another person that explains this is John Edward. He is a psychic. He used to have something called the Gallery, and if any of you know who John Edward is, he would talk about, like, when you, and I had one of these, if you ever have a family tree done up of your family, and they have the tree, it has your mother's side, your father's side, their aunts, their brothers and sisters, and then their kids, okay? So when John Edward is talking about your family tree, or whatever he used to do, his galleries, and he would say, okay, this person's coming through, and it's to your side. That if you think about a family tree, that's what he'd be talking about. And then he would start talking about people that were coming through to him, and the people in the gallery would stand up and go, oh, that sounds like my aunt or uncle. And so that's another way of looking at things being non-linear, by things being 360, because he would talk about your family to the side, left or right, like mom's side and her brothers and sisters and their kids, your cousins, and then on down the family tree, okay? So that's another example of the way John Edward explained the family tree and the people that were coming through. That to me is another non-linear thing, but it gives you a better concept of the people are, to your side and stuff. He explains it in a non-linear way, because your family is to the left, to the right. You got mom and her family, dad and his family, and then you're a product of that. And then your kids are a product of you and whoever we'll just to make it easy, we'll say whoever you've mated with, because maybe you've got several ex-husbands or several ex-wives, and you have kids, or you have a blended family of some sort. So I'm just trying to give you an overall picture. So whenever these things come through, and different things, I want y'all to think about that. How, when you're trying to put together some pieces of a puzzle in your life, maybe think about that, things being non-linear. Okay, that's what this whole message is about, is things being non-linear, and being able to understand that maybe you have ancestors and relatives coming through that are from mom's side, or dad's side, mom's side, however you want to look at it. And those ones they're like, maybe somebody you were really close to, maybe a special aunt, great aunt, or great uncle, or cousin that's passed on, that is going, oh, we used to play together a lot when we were kids. You're really, really, I was really close to you. So that feels like a message or something being shown to me that reminds me of a person. So they're always there to help you. And then the lineage angels, I feel like they can see, because when I think about picking up messages from my spirit guides, my angels, passed on loved ones, ancestors, you could actually imagine a whole room of your relatives, of those that have really loved you, you're really close to, that are trying to help you, being in the room with you. And with the veil between the worlds getting so thin, I have literally, like yesterday, I was sitting here at my table, my cat was sitting here, and she kept looking at a spot over there, and my head wasn't, like, I have a spot on the back of my head where I hurt myself when I was a kid, that feels like whenever Will comes through, or my niece, or someone else that's passed on, and I feel them, that's what I feel them at, because that's a weak spot in my head, but it affected, I guess, my brain to a certain extent, where I'm now more, that's how I pick up on the energies of them coming in, not only in my head of going, ooh, somebody's here, but sometimes will literally feel them. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes it's someone that's just popping in to check on me, or popping in to see what's going on, and to physically check on me, and they can see you from afar, but sometimes they do come up close just to get into your energy and see how the energy feels and what's going on. And that's just my own intuition telling me that. So y'all pay attention to those things, because you have so much spiritual help. And I just want you to think of things in a non-linear way. So that's what this message is all about. So when you start seeing the broader picture, pay attention to what you think, what is feeling at home with you, what is feeling clear and concise. And always realize that, because they can see more than we can see, because we can only see today. You understand what I'm saying? So, but they come in to give you these little intuitive hits and come in to share energy and to help things go pop in your head, so you can see other things going on around you that you're not consciously aware of, because they are coming. It is help coming from the other side. And with this world, this veil getting so much thinner, like not even a week ago, I had an angel come and whisper in my ear, and I almost felt, not breath, but I felt a vibration actually in my ear. And I was like, damn, the veil is so thin. So folks, our world is changing. We're people on the other side, angel, spirit guides. When I talk about the other side, I'm talking about either passed on loved ones, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, a grandparent, a cousin, or even some relatives you've never met that say, ooh, the lineage angels are trying to help guide this one, and they're a relative of mine that's come after me. So I really believe they think about us and they do talk to each other. If you've ever looked at any kind of videos of near-death experiences and things like that, those relatives, they do communicate on the other side. And everything's energy. They no longer have a physical body. It's just energy. Okay? So I want y'all to think about that. That when things are happening these days, especially now, all your help on the other side, if you're a healer, or if you have a special gift that they want you to use to help other people, if you have something you're going through that you want other people to be aware of, like there's two different channels that I'm paying attention to right now. One is a girl called Lauren Wags. She had a spinal tumor, and she said all kind of surgeries. Beautiful woman. Absolutely. Lauren, you are absolutely gorgeous. And anyone that wants to make fun about your scars and stuff, you're alive. You're here for a reason. You're here to teach people about things. Another one is Paris Pop-Tart. She has, I'm not sure exactly if it's anorexia, but she's got a lot of subscribers. But to me, she's on a healing journey, because it's an eating disorder, anorexia is. And I don't know what else she's got going on, because I haven't looked at everything on her channel. But folks, those people out there that have those channels, they're here as healers. They are healing themselves. They're trying to teach other people, show you what they've experienced. And if you've never gone through nothing like that, you can take a lesson from them, because there's something they have that they can teach you. And if you're a healer and you're wanting to help other people, you can learn so much from looking at people that have gone through something you may have gone through. And sometimes you can learn something from them if you haven't gone through it. So check out those two channels, Paris at Paris Pop-Tart and Lauren's Journey. I think, and I'm going to keep looking for people like that, and I'm going to keep talking about them on my channel and promoting them, because I think they are healers, and this is a channel about healing and the spiritual help you have on the other side and all these other little things. And I'm going to keep doing my rune readings of where we need to be going. And if it resonates, keep it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not meant for everybody. But just like tarot readings, things will come through. It could be one little sentence that you go, ooh, that's meant for me. If it resonates, take it. This is Lana Scott. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to be doing more videos like this and looking for more people that I think are healers and sharing their journey. Have a great day, everybody.